My name is Lenny, and I'm the assistant compulsory coach here. I'm also Jenny and Howie's son. I remember Kyla walking in the door when she was really little. It was like all muscles. So one of my tasks was going to conditions with Kyla Ross, Michaela Maroney, and various other current leads. So at that time, we had this one thing, the leg lifts, and they do that at the National Team Training Center. So on average, our girls would do at that age, at about 7, 8, 9 years old, they'll do about 5 or 6 really good, and they start getting really sloppy. Or they tread really hard, but at the same time they tread really hard, they start arching, piking, they do all kind of weird stuff just to get up there. But Kyla, it was a very special case, like Kyla and Michaela as well. They just kept going. We wanted them to try, at least when they get to level 10, around 20 in a row. And they end up doing like 40, 43 in a row. So that was my first impression. I was quite impressed.
Warm-up finish, and we separate the group. Okay? Let's start, Kyla.
Thank you.
She was just a very rambunctious kid, always climbing out of the crib at an early age. We couldn't, after a while, there was no use for it because she would hop out of it. It was hard to gauge as a parent because she's my first child, so you just thought everybody was like that. But as I look back then, it's like, oh wow, she was a little bit different. She was just extremely strong, abnormally strong. We used to take her to the park during my days of playing baseball in between, and at an early age, she was climbing on the monkey bars, going, cross of it, with upper strength. That's just not norm for a 3-year-old. And and that's when we kind of knew, like, she's kind of strong and kind of a little different.
I knew Kyla was something special ever since she was a little baby. She was always really active and always really rambunctious and really smart, and was very competitive and had to do everything on her own and very independent. She never even liked me to put her in a car seat. She had to
There's one classic story we always talk in our family. I was playing after the game, was trying to put her in the car seat, and she didn't want to get in the car seat and kind of stiffen up. And okay, I'm a pretty big, strong guy, and try to easily push her in there and couldn't. And then I really had to use all my force to push her hips down, and all my teammates were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to put my infant kid in here. She wants, That's when I really knew, like, this kid's pretty strong.
I started gymnastics when I was about 3 years old, and I don't really remember much, but my parents put me in it because they said I would just run around the house, and I was already doing cartwheels around the house at 3, so they decided to put me in it and use some of my energy there. I remember we had one competition, and it was called the Teddy Bear Classic. So instead of winning medals, you'd win stuffed animals. So it was one of our favorite meets. I don't think I won, but I got a few stuffed animals.
That's when they asked, hey, we want to put her in a competitive program, and I think she was 5. So at that point, I'm like, 5, competitive program, what is this, We wanted to come back to California. My wife's family's from this area, So we ended up eventually moving back here.
I came to GymMax in 2005, and I think I can even remember, like, I think it was a Friday when I came, my first day. Some of the girls were like the same level as me, were like doing like hard skills, so I was like eager to hopefully like train with those girls.
First, Kyla coming here is 8 years old, and she already competed compulsory level 6. And when she coming here, I just see her. This girl is strong. They have the strength, but I always play jogging. So she Xiaomi's look like a square body, no shoulder, you know, and the no dance. You know, very, very, very clean.
I think my first impressions of Ginny were mostly how like kind she was. I think I remember like she wasn't just talking about me and gymnastics. She was also wondering about my family and everything like that. So she was really caring about that too.
It's competitive. You can see the eye, her eye, and when you're doing conditioning, when she coming to here, the little girls do the leg lifts, and somebody do 20, she just look at the eye. She just 22, 23, just go for it. You know, that's gymnasts really need.
I remember my first day here, Ginny would assign like a helper. So like the new girl would have someone else, and no one like could understand Howie. So the helper would like tell you what he was saying and everything, because it takes a little bit to get used to it and understand what he's saying.
They can't do a little too much. Yeah, so your body is the year okay? You got a little more in, you go outside, oh, so good. The year good one, okay?
You kind of just like learn his lingo, like he kind of has his own like way he says things, so once you know what like that word is, you can probably understand it. So we mostly know what he's talking about.
Gotta keep going here, your shoulder too much, okay? Control and put all it, okay?
After like a few days trial and training here, Howie just tell me, watch these girls, okay? Her future will be very, very good gymnastics. And one day maybe she could Olympic. I said, how do you know? I asked Howie. Howie said, you trust me. I look at her eye. I look at her training. Even she compulsory level, Howie said, these girls, we really need a look. From 1,000 people like China, they pick 1 girl, 2 girls. They have a special selection team, go to different region, different city, pick. So this is from the same person doing same trick, even at 1,000 person here doing. They're very professional, very, you know, they can quickly catch 1 or 2. They knew those girls, they can't go to very far.
I don't really think I even remember the first time I met Michaela, because I was only about 6, but we actually came over the same time. Like I said, I came on a Friday to GymMax, and she came the next day on Saturday.
We carpooled, sleepovers, every birthday. I mean, we have hundreds of pictures together, family outings. I mean, my whole family knows her. Like she's another daughter and family member. And
back when me and Michaela were younger, I think we sort of like did everything together. I remember looking back at photos, even my family photos with my cousins and stuff, she was always there. So she would always come over and hang out, and in the summer we'd always go to the beach and hang out at the pool. So we were just like always together. She was sort of like my pal.
Kyla Maloney and Kyla Ross, they coming almost the same time, 2005, like January or so.
It's funny, I remember the day we met, or at least met her mom. It's at Nationals because we started there, and the relationship has been close. She's been part of our family, and Kyla's been part of their family since we lived here, you know. Holidays, Halloween, different events, family events. She's come to our family, they go to hers.
I think that when they training here, they always the same group, so we all see each other. I think so both, you know, they They watch, oh, you doing, I'm doing, you know, and you doing, I will do this way, you know, this.
So they've been pretty close all the time. They're very different personalities. You know, it's pretty, you know, funny, so I think they feed off each other, but Kyla and Kyla definitely pushed each other. I think there's always a little bit of competition, which is always great. It makes you better, it makes the other person better, so I think it really pushed them to really achieve their highest goal. You know, it was a great experience to see that, you know, they both were able to achieve their dream as to, you know, close friends, which was kind of very, very unique. And of all the areas and all the kids out there trying to achieve this goal, you have two kids that were just, you know, right around the corner that grew up that achieved that dream, which is kind of crazy.
I really had no idea about elite. When I started, I think I just really was going out there and competing, and especially my first meet, we had no idea what we were doing. So we just went out there and had fun, and it was surprising that we all did pretty well.
2005, 6, 2007, she competed level 9. She won the national champion. Then 2008, she went to level 10. She won the level 10 national champion. So after 2008, that year, the Olympic year, then 2009, March, at San Diego, competed American Classic. We just bring her come to the elite.
My first elite meet was at Metroplex in Dallas, so I think it was a lot of fun because we went the day before and we got to see the podium, so we were just really excited. We had never been on podium before, so it was a big change, and I think ever since then everyone's really liked podium.
When she came in the first year, competed bar, her start value at American Classic 3.6. Start value.
I didn't really remember too much about the start values. I think that, I mean, I was just happy to be able to compete elite, so. Actually, before that meet, we had like a mock meet at our gym, and we were competing each event for one of the judges that we know around here. And we competed bars, and we all had straddle backs. And then after realizing, the judge told us you weren't allowed to do a straddle back in elite. So then we had like the Metroplex meet about 2 weeks later. So we had to compete that meet without any like high bar, low bar release. So we didn't really have much of a routine, and we all had like the same routine.
I mean, I'll never forget the first elite meet. I think it was Metroplex that we went to. I had no idea even about the scoring system, and she got like this 56, and my friend turned to me and I forget, it was 56 something. My friend said, "You know, that's what like the girls on national team get, right? That's a really good score." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
Going to my first Visa championships, I got to warm up all the events in like elite style before we competed, so that was a little bit different, and I wasn't really used to that.
The whole expectation was like, gosh, I hope she, you know, can survive, and hopefully she can make the team and make the national team and everything. And it was just a weird experience. We had no expectation, we had no clue. I'm not a gymnast, my wife's not a gymnast, we've never been through this process before, so our only thoughts was just do good.
I don't think I had any expectations going into my first Visa championship, so I think I just went out there and, like I said, had fun and just wanted to do my best and just have fun with my teammates.
Left, Jenny says, "You know what, we just want to try to make top 6.
And then as the first day went by, we're like, oh my God, like she's almost, you know, she's in first place.
It was kind of crazy after day 1 when she was on top, and then day 2 came and she kind of had a little mishaps, but so did everybody else, so.
The second day it happened, she had little falters here and there, and then came back and won, and it was just kind of like, wow, maybe she is that good. Being
my first elite competition, being able to win is pretty rare, so I think I was just mostly overwhelmed. And I remember going up on the medal ceremony and not having any idea that we had to wave or raise our flowers. So some of the girls had to like talk me through it. I remember Bridgie Kakwado had to tell me which hand to wave with and to turn it. And I remember also pictures from that. I didn't even smile. So there's some pictures from when I won, and people would say that I didn't even smile, but I think I was just overwhelmed. Yeah, after competing visas, it was the first time I ever did any media, so I was really nervous, but I remember being next to Sabrina, and she was so outgoing and she talked so much, so she was kind of laughing that I was so shy and didn't really want to talk to anyone. Looking back now, I do think it was kind of shocking that I was able to win my first time. I know that going into that competition, I didn't really know what to expect, and now looking back, it's such a big competition and everyone goes to that competition, all the seniors and all the girls from past Olympics and World Championships, so I know that I was sort of amazed that I was able to do that. At first it was a little bit weird to walk into the gym and see my face over the walls, but I have been at this gym for such a long time and worked so hard, and winning an elite title, you know that a lot of your hard work had paid off.
Not really any style, but I like to.
You like to?
Or I don't.
Any favorite gymnasts that you looked up to?
Nastia and Sean and all those.
Okay, does this make you way more uncomfortable than competing, having to talk to us?
Kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry.